Hello friends, this is Amy. Welcome to my channel. Let's get started. This is a picture that I bought at Hobby Lobby. I believe it was 90% off at $2.75. And I bought it with intentions of making it different. And so I'm just going to add Waverly chalk paint black to the edge. And then you can see this paper is double-sided. It's from a paper pack that I am offering on Etsy. And so the side I'm going to use is kind of a cream colored where it looks like planks. It'll look very farmhouse. And I'm just going to apply some of this stick glue to the back. And then I just used what I had to kind of flatten out the glue. My glue is getting old, and so it did kind of have a couple little bubbles in there, and I'm just flattening them out before everything dries. And I wanted to stencil on this, and so I have these stencils, and I will list where I got those, but I noticed it's just a little small for this piece. And so stay tuned, you'll see how I remedied that. Use your stencil brush and take your paint, take a lot of it off, and then use a circular motion. And if it's nearly dry, it's not going to push underneath there. Make sure things are nice and tight to the paper. Keep everything in place. And now I'm just going to use some of this removable tape that you'd use for painter's tape. And I'm going to make a frame. The stencil was cut perfectly, and so it was nice that I could use this as the other part of my, to make a square. Same technique. And now I'm just going to finish it up in this shot. This was a fun one, very easy. These stencils are fun because you can use them for so many things, and this is one way of making it go a little more where it's not necessarily it's a smaller stencil, but you can put it on a bigger piece by giving it a cute little frame. And there it is. On to the next DIY, number 2. Alright, now we've got the 3 colors, truffle, ink, and some white paint. They're all chalk paint. I chose Waverly with this as well. And I got this, obviously I was at Hobby Lobby because I got these very cute little milk cans. And so basically all I'm going to do is dirty them up and make them look rusty. And using those 3 colors, it does a nice job. A person, if you wanted to, you could add a little gray in there as well. And thinking about it, I should have used a little gray to dull down that galvanized look, but it still looks great. So again, your brush is going to be pretty dry, and just keep working at it. And just pick the seams of things, like where you would normally have a little rust, like there's the seam that goes up and down, and then where everything kind of comes together, handles. And then I just wanted to put a label on the front, and because it's a milk can, I'm going to put fresh milk. Excuse the puppy in the background. And of course you want to dirty that up, so I'm just going to make that a little grubby and use, like, it's been around a long time. Just using some inks. And so like that linen color, and used a little black on there. And then I just put down some Mod Podge just so it would stick. It didn't take long, and I did not put it over the top of it because I didn't want it looking glossy. Well, it needed something to fasten on to the milk can, so I'm just putting on these little rhinestones. They came black, and so just watch how I do the same procedure with the milk can and make them look rusty and old. Now, when I got done with this, I had every intention of putting on some jute string around the top of that and making it look, you know, just a little bit of bow or something on there, and I completely forgot about it. And so just imagine that it's on there, because that's what I wanted to do. But yeah, even a little gingham, black and white gingham ribbon would be super cute on there too. This would be cute for flowers, anything you would think that would be decorative. It's tiny. It's something that you could put on a 3-tiered tray. Turned out so cute. I hope you try it too. It ended up being $1 because they were 50% off. On to the very last DIY. Now you are seeing the whole paper pack that I have, and I'm just going to go through it a little bit so you can see the colors. So if you're seeing one of the images, the back side is the other. There's 2 of each. I fell in love with the flowers, and then there's that one that I used before. Yeah, and so check out what I use out of this paper pack. I thought this was such a pretty sentiment right here. These are Dollar Tree items, and I thought, oh my goodness, these are so fun. I'm going to make a nice little hanging decor piece. And of course, because they come from the same paper pack, everything matches just perfectly. So I'm going to cut out and conserve some of my paper, and going to cut this out. And I don't know if you've ever seen this technique, but I am going to take some saran wrap and I'm going to apply it between the paper and the wood. And then you use a hot iron to melt the saran wrap, and it creates a it's just like having glue. Most of the time it works really nice and there's no bubbles. That's kind of why I prefer this over using Mod Podge sometimes, but there's ways you can use that as well. I've showed in other videos. But you can take this, and depending on the thickness of your paper, you can apply heat to this. If it's really thick like this is, you got to apply more heat to get that to melt through the paper. I'm still trying to figure out what's the best thing to do. I have tried not garbage, but the bags you get from the grocery store, and they do not work. I'm not sure why, because I thought that would even be less expensive just to, use those. So check your corners. If they've not adhered down, then, just go ahead and apply more heat, trim around it, and then I used just a file to kind of go through and take my time and get those edges just perfect. All right, and so I needed to trim it down a little bit. I didn't like that it was so wide, and so I just eyeballed it, trimmed it down, and using some of my tape that I do like to use, that double-sided tape. You could use more of your glue stick, whatever it is you choose to use. Just kind of eyeballing it and putting it down into place. Now, it wasn't done. I thought, this is cute, but I need to have something to hang it with. So I went downstairs and I used the drill and made a couple of holes. And we're just going to put a cute little hanging handle on this. Just taking some yarn and a thread and just going to put on some beads without painting or anything. And then when you're done with that, just tie the end and you're ready to go. This was a fun little project to do. It's fun to kind of go through the process of coming up with the paper and, you know, what's next. You just kind of think about things and you come up with that, and pretty soon you've got a fun little project. Check out the final reveal. When you love what you have everything you need, and there's nothing more true to that. To be grateful for what you have. I love how these little cuties turned out, and I want to thank you for watching my video today. Have a wonderful weekend. Bye-bye, my friends.